Have you ever noticed how this world beats your imagination out of you? How quick they are to tell you while you're young which things are possible, how many things they tell you is not possible. You know, I just think it's interesting because imagination is possibility. That's what imagination is. It's possibility. To a child, everything's possible. And then the world just stomps that out. People older than you as a child begin to tell you what's possible, what's not possible, which dreams are not even possible. If you just think back at all the different times that you've been told that things are not possible, you've been given a mind that tells you what's possible and what's not possible, especially with science. Science will tell you to the deepest cell of a thing what is possible and what's not possible. And then when the idea of Jesus Christ comes your way, you think it's not possible. I think the killing of the imagination is why a lot of Christians have a struggle with knowing that God is real, because it's in that realm of possibility that you can cultivate a tangible relationship with the Lord. And if your mind is molded just right, you can get saved and you can still have an issue with believing that the Lord is in the room with you for you to have a tangible relationship. Because when you look at it from an adult perspective, it's all silly, right? From an adult perspective, according to the world, an adult living according to the world, that's silly talk, And it's funny because the Bible says that you must become like a child. And a child's imagination is on 100, until somebody stomps it out. They believe a lot of things, And like I can remember playing a game. I think I was playing Mario, and somebody that we regard as our cousin, but it's a long time family friend, just thinking back as an adult, I think it's funny. I remember playing Mario, and I knew good and well not to jump down, where the level, where the stage separates. If you fall in there, you lose. And I was so open to things that I would have a turn and he would have a turn. Then I would have a turn and he would have a turn, and you got to play until you died. Well, he was older than me, and he tricked me because he said, if you jump in that hole, you're going to get an extra life. And I knew good and well that I was not going to get an extra life if I jumped in that hole. But because I believed, I was open to it, I jumped down that hole and I lost, and I was so mad, and I gave him the controller. And he was, for him it was a joke, and looking back now, I know it's a joke, but at the time, man, it was stomping out my imagination. It was stomping out my ability to trust and believe, and I just think it's interesting, and it's something to think about how the world, who is ran by Satan, is so adamant about destroying your ability to believe, your ability to have faith, your ability to go against what everybody else believes, because believe it or not, it's a tangible relationship with the Lord that's going to actually change you and make things real. You got to be willing to live against the grain, which the Bible teaches you to live against the grain, because everything that Jesus came and taught and lived according to is the opposite of what everybody else believes is normal, So, in order to see those healings manifest, in order to see deliverance in your life, in order to see deliverance in other people's life, you're going to have to be willing to go there with it. You know, you're gonna have to be willing to become like a child and allow your, I guess, imagination to open back up so that the realm of the possibility of this supernatural thing happening in your life becomes real, you know? So something to think about.